So we are the other side of the full moon this week, and for me that is definitely the most energized week of the month. The other side of the full moon is my good spot, and actually that comes from astrology. Apparently that comes from where your moon sign is. So that's quite interesting to discover we all know what our sun sign is, which is like the predominant one that's in the newspapers, but the moon sign can be more influential. It definitely is for me. So that's worth investigating if you're curious about that. Okay, bring your hands to your knees, sit up nice and tall. We're not going to spend too much time hanging out, sitting down and circling, because I want to get us moving today. A little bit colder, the air temperature. Okay, so breathing in and out through the nose. Eyelids down, pressing the sitting bones down into the ground, letting the ribcage move up, away from the floor. Take gentle circles in the shoulders. How are they feeling today? And some good old clunks and clicks going on here. How about in you? And let's take arms up, interlink fingers, press palms high. Take a little side stretch in either direction. So the whole way through the practice this morning, you are open to adapting what we're doing to make it work for you. We're only moving into places that feel good. We're staying right away from any places that feel bad. But bad is a funny old word, isn't it? And what I really mean by bad is if it feels contracted, small, pinching, closed, that is bad. If it feels open, expansive, spacious, and light, that is good. That's the way that I define it for myself. So circling the heart, inhaling as you come forwards, exhaling as you go back. So we're on a quest to discover all the ways we can move that make us feel open and spacious and light. And changing directions. Coming back to centre, let's drop right ear to right shoulder and notice how the neck feels, chin towards chest, left ear to left shoulder. And then changing direction. Okay, and then coming up to centre, take a gentle twist. Use your inhale to sit up a little taller. Use your exhale to twist, but you're really not trying to push into new boundaries, new positions you've never been in before. You're just exploring. How does my breath change? How does my body feel this morning in this moment? And then switching sides. Inhale as you sit up. And exhale as you twist. Well done. And coming onto all fours. So on all fours here, you can choose, you can either do circles with your hips if that feels good, or you can take bit cat and cow, or you can kind of make a little melange of the whole thing and mix it up in a way that feels good for you. We're really creating opportunities for us to be present, to feel and fully sense every muscle, every ligament, every bone, every system. How is it doing? You're curious about yourself. And even though we're going to be doing, the Thursday is usually a little bit more floor-based, we are going to start with some vinyasa to get the blood flowing as the temperature drops. It's super helpful to warm up. So let's tuck toes under, sit back on heels. You can keep your hands on the floor if you want to take it easy today, or you can bring your hands to your heart, waking up our feet. And then bringing the hands back down, tapping the toes. And let's lay forearms down to the floor. Walk the hands a little further forward and lower the chest down to the ground, forehead to the floor. Inhale as you come back up. Tuck toes under and come into a down dog. Make it as experimental. Make yourself as curious as you can be. How does it feel this morning? Acknowledging early morning practice. Very different. Very, very different. Even if you did this practice at 9 AM rather than 6:30, things would feel very different. Inhale as you look forwards and gently walk your feet up to your hands. And let's bring hands to shins and inhale as you look forward. So you can soften your knees, nothing needs to be rigid. And exhale, slide your hands down towards your feet, chin towards your chest. Inhale, hands come up towards the knees, looking forwards. Exhale as you come down. Now close your eyes as you do this. And really feel into how this is doing, where this is working for you. And then with knees bent, press down through the soles of your feet. Inhale as you come up. We're going to take the most gentle version of a classical salutation. So bring your hands down to your heart center. Inhale as you reach your arms up. Traveling on the breath, exhale, forward bend. Inhale, a little half lift. Exhale, stepping the right leg back, dropping the back knee. Hips lunging towards that front knee. Adapt this as much as you need to work for you. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, hands to the floor, stepping back. And let's pause for a moment in high plank. Find our bearings here. So press through the palms, soften the elbows, push the heels back, move the heart forward. Pull the tummy button up towards the spine. And then softly drop the knees. Keep the elbows tight to your side. Keep the shoulders away from the ears as you roll your chest down towards the ground. And keep the neck free and open so there's no tension in the neck whatsoever. You're not putting all your weight on your hands, maybe just 20% as you inhale and come up. Little baby cobra and exhale as you come back down. Inhale again. And exhale as you come back down. Third one, maybe a little bit more weight through the hands, maybe 40, 50%. And then exhale, sit back on your heels. Inhale as you come all the way up to high plank. And exhale as you go back to down dog. And pause for some breaths here. So you're breathing through your nose, feeling the vibration of that breath in your throat. Often that makes it an audible breath, a breath that you can hear. And the belly button is pulling in towards the spine and the pelvic floor is lifting. So the lower back is really protected. Inhale, sweep the right leg up high behind you. Exhale as you place the foot forward, dropping the back knee. Looking forwards, lunging the hips forwards. Inhale as you reach your arms up. And exhale as your hands come to the floor and your feet come together. Forward bend. Inhale all the way up, arms up tall. And we go straight to the other side, exhaling forward bend. Half lift as you inhale. Exhale, left foot back, dropping the back knee. Inhale, arms reach up tall. Exhale, hands to the floor, stepping back. Dropping the knees, lowering yourself down. We're just going to do one cobra. Inhale as you come up. Tuck the toes. Exhale as you go back. Down dog. Pause for some breaths. Next, inhale, left leg extends out behind you. And exhaling that foot forward, dropping the back knee. Inhaling the arms. And exhaling feet together. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to the midline. Let's go second round. Inhale. Exhale. Very deliberate breath. Even if you're making your own shapes and you're not doing this sequence. Inhale, lift the gaze. Be sure that the breath is what you're traveling on. Right foot back. Inhale. Exhale. All the way down to the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right leg leads. Exhale, right leg forward. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, feet together, forward bend. Inhale to standing. Second side, exhale, forward bend. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left foot back, knee to the floor. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, stepping back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, back. Left foot rises. Exhale, foot forward, knee down. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, feet together. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart center. Hopefully that feels like the blood started to move around your body. I'm going to take my little rug. So I love to sit on that. You might want a cushion or a block or whatever you use to help your forward bends. We're going to come down to the floor. And let's start by taking hands behind sitting bones, and we'll bring our core into our day today. So just begin with your toes touching the floor, heels are lifted. You're going to soften the elbows and lift your chest and look up. Notice how your back feels. It's almost like you're arching your spine because you're really lifting the heart up, and that's how the spine is going to feel. And then we're going to bring shins up parallel to the floor, and notice your spine will adapt. Pull the tummy in to give your spine a little bit of support. And you can stay with your hands here, or you can bring your arms either side of your shins. See if you can bring your awareness into your pelvis here and really lift up through the perineum as well. Okay, and then lower yourself back down, take your hands down to the floor. Feet are apart, and we'll just drop knees side to side. Ease off the lower back. We're going to do that 2 more times. So for you to choose your option, you can keep your hands here, you can bring your hands here, and then take your shins wherever you want to go. If you are really working with your core and you're super fit, you can straighten your legs here. Try to keep the legs bringing into the midline, so they're squeezing inwards. And you're still lifting up through the pelvis. Okay, soles of feet come together, holding onto your toes. We're going to take a little bit of cobbler. So inhale as you sit up, and exhale as you roll forwards. So the legs are just like butterfly wings. They can have a little bounce. You can wriggle. Maybe your breath is a little bit stronger. If, like me, you find the core just not quite so enjoyable as the other postures. And then inhaling as you come back up. And we're going to do a third round. So you can take your hands behind, you can take your arms forward, it's up to you. Use your breath. And we're going to take a diamond version of cobbler. So the feet are further away, but the soles of the feet are together, holding onto your knees. Inhale as you sit up. Exhale as you come forwards into a forward bend. Notice as you rock from side to side, you can really, well for me anyway, I can really kind of sense where my hamstrings are tight, where they connect in at my pelvis. It's like you're getting to know your own body by revisiting it a little bit more regularly. Okay, bring the knees up. Have the feet apart, keep the hands behind you. We're going to come into table. So roll the shoulders away from the ears, press down through the hands, press down through the soles of the feet, and lift the hips and the heart. Perhaps your head is going to drop back. How's your breath here? And exhale as you come back down. Okay, keep the knees slightly apart and legs bent. You're going to inhale as you reach your arms up, and as you exhale you're going to lay your torso down and hook your armpits onto your knees. So depending on our shape and size, that it is more or less accessible to you, but the idea of this pose is that the thigh bone is providing a support, almost like a splint for the torso. So you're really pressing the torso into your thighs. And then you're going to wrap your hands around your feet and start to walk your feet forwards. And we're not going into a straight leg forward bend. You might shuffle your sitting bones back. And we're just going to see where we go to today, but without coming up away from the thighs. It's more interesting to keep this connection going on than it is to have straight legs. Well done, and then inhale as you come back up. Toes are pointing upwards, heels pressing away. Inhale as you come all the way up. And as you exhale, come into a traditional forward bend. So, your options are, you can have your hands on your shins. Sometimes it's really nice to just walk your hands down either side of the outside of your legs, and that almost adds like stabilizers. Or you can take your hands over the tops of your feet, so palms of hands connecting with the soles of your feet. I'm just going to find a tissue because I'm sniffing. Don't want to listen to that for 10 minutes. Okay, and inhale as you come back up. Let's take hands again behind the back. Fingers pointing towards sitting bones. You're going to point your toes, roll your shoulders back, lift your heart. That might be sufficient for you today to breathe here, or you might tip your toes towards the floor as your hips rise. And your head may hang back if your neck feels good with that. I prefer looking down the length of my body. And then exhale as you come back. Point the toes upwards. Inhale as you reach your arms up. And as you exhale, sweep the arms wide around the edges. You're going to take hold of the little toe edge of your foot and pull it towards you. Inhale as you look ahead, and as you exhale, drop your chin towards your chest, come into a forward bend. Elbows are softly opening out to the sides and shoulders are away from your ears. The option to make this softer is just to have your knees bent. Early morning practice, gentle all the way. How does your breath feel? Inhale as you come back up. Let's reach hands up high. Get that height in the spine. And this time as you exhale, you're going to take your two middle fingers, wrap them around your big toes, close with your thumb. So you're holding onto your big toes. Inhale as you look forwards. And then the feet are pushing away from you, but the hands are drawing in. So there's a little bit of tension going on between the feet and the hands. And as you exhale, the elbows wing out to the side, chin to chest as you come into a forward bend. And play with the feet and the hands. Inhale as you come back up. Well done. And bend the right knee. Let the sole of the foot come to the inner thigh. Toes are pointing upwards. This knee, sometimes it's right up here like this, because the hips are used to being very protective, or it might just be the physical shape of your hip. If that's the case, get a pillow or a cushion and give it some support, because this is really working in here, and we're not wanting to contract, we're wanting to open. So holding your knee up like that is a real contraction. So just offer it some support and let it relax so that it can be more about what's going on in this leg and in your back. Inhale as you reach your arms up, and as you exhale, come forwards again. You can walk your hands either side, or you can sweep your hands around the outer edges of the front foot. And then we dive into the breath. Inhale as you come back up. Bring the knee up to center, and you're going to bring your knees together and have the toes of the right foot pointing straight out behind you. So if you've got a cushion or a block and you feel like you're, like this is really common to feel like this in this pose, in which case you just get a cushion and pop it underneath your left sitting bone, and that will give you a little bit more support. And you can also use your hands to support yourself. So these left toes are pointing upwards. Inhale as you sit up. Be true to this knee, check that it really is feeling okay with what you're doing, and then exhale as you walk forwards. Walk your hands forwards. Maybe your hands are going to come to the foot, or maybe they're just going to stay as a little bit of scaffolding for you. And try not to lock into the pose. Try to treat it like a waterfall. Feel fluid and shifting, and your breath is easy and deep. Inhale as you come back up. Release the leg. Take both legs out in front of you. Inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, take them around the outside. So your hands are going to come to the top third of the foot. So that's literally the ball of the foot just beneath the toes. Inhale as you look up, and exhale as you come into a forward bend. So these positions of our hands on our feet, they're very deliberate. They're working specific parts of the legs and the hips and the ankle and the foot. And as you do the practice, you start to fine-tune and realise how different each posture feels. But cultivating self-awareness. Inhale as you come back up. You're going to bring the left knee up, sole of foot to the inner thigh, toes pointing upwards. Again, you might want a little bit of support there. Be sure that there's ease and grace moving through your hips right now. Inhale as you come up, exhale, forward bend. Hands and feet have a relationship. They're not just kind of placidly hanging out together, they antagonize one another. And there's a possibility of a wriggle. Inhale as you come back up. Knee comes up to center. And knees come together. Toes pointing out behind you. So another thing, apart from the side thing, which just means bring a cushion under here, the other thing that's quite common is this foot can go out at 90 degrees for some people. And that puts pressure on the knee. So if you're able to, do check that your toes are pointing straight behind you, rather than going out to the side. Okay, right toes are pointing up. Inhale as you sit up, and exhale as you come forwards. Use your hands if you want to stabilize yourself. Find your breath, find your cadence, and move through that. Amazing how different these forward bends feel from one day to the next. It often feels like there's no rhyme or reason to it. But going there more often definitely helps keep the flexibility, the strength, the balance inside. Okay, inhale as you come back up, release the legs. Let's come back to cobbler, so toes together, heels together, holding onto your toes, letting your knees drop out to the side. Little bounce. Inhale as you sit up, and exhale as you come forwards. Coming back up, bring the knees together. Cross your legs, bring your hands to your heart center. Well done, everyone. Thursday morning practice is done. You're going to have an amazing day. Take care. And do come and join us tomorrow for choir and dancing. Honestly, it will make such a difference to your day if you start that way.